Okay, so I've got a question for you, Lucas, and this is one that I know is got a lot of people thinking, because I've always said that if you can't buy land, it might make sense for you to find a buddy that's like-minded and going in on that first 40 or that first 80 or whatever and buying it together. And there aren't very many situations where that works out really well.
Yeah, no, that's one of the big sellers I feel that has all the drama is the partnership where they're best friends or they're brothers or whatever, and then someone shot the wrong deer, they shot too many of the big ones, or like you name it, there's just a list of problems. So can it work out short term to establish something, at least get in the game? Yes, but you better have a lot of clear communication. I think that's kind of the first step there is, all right, let's establish some goals and what we want out of this, and then be very clear and open on this is what we want. But long term, a partnership can usually end in some sour taste.
Yeah. So I think you just have to be realistic going into it, that you have to say this is like a 3-year deal.
Yeah.
Don't think, hey, I'm buying this land with my best buddy or my brother or whatever, that we're going to own this forever, we're going to be best friends forever.
Yeah.
There's going to be something that causes a rift somewhere, whether it's financial, family, the how you use the property, whatever it might be. Life doesn't stay the same.
Yeah.
Like I've heard a lot of people say, oh, I'll never sell my farm. 2 years later, it's on the market. And you're like, why are you selling it? Well, this changed. This, and you didn't foresee those changes.
Yeah.
So these partnerships are, now you've got 2 of these bodies or 2 of these entities that both are subject to change.
Yeah.
So don't expect it to last.
Yeah.
So I think if you can get into it with that in mind, it's like, let's just do this for a couple of years for us both to get into the market. Then let's really plan after 2 or 3 years that we're selling this together. We're both going our separate ways.
Yep.
And not make it like, oh, we're married to each other now.
Yeah. And that's worked out really good in the last couple of years because you got the cash out for a good price, and then you guys can take your proceeds and go put it into something that's your own, and then you guys can still hunt together. You can still go out and enjoy it, do all those things, but you get to control and establish, and I think that's where a lot of the problems come from is, you had your nephew out there ranger riding around, and it's November 1st, and I was deer hunting, and you scared the deer, and then it's just this snowball effect. So it's better, maybe short term, it's all good, and you can establish something, it can get you in at a bigger piece. Yeah. But I tell everybody, it's better if you can take that money, just go buy a smaller piece yourself, and you can still have hunt and camp. You can still do all those things, and you guys can own your own piece, or have a cheap survey done, or have a survey cost it's not that much money done, split off a farm that you guys can just own together. But then if worst case you can separate, you still have a fence line where you can go about your day. Well,
I think it has to be clear. We've talked about that. I think you just have to be really open at the front end and treat this like it's a temporary thing.
Yep.
And then the exception is if it goes long.
Yeah.
Because everybody treats it like it's going to be a long-term commitment, and then it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think it's a really good advice, because everybody's trying to figure out how to get into the game, how to get into land, and one of the natural things is, I'm a little bit afraid of this whole process. I don't really know what I'm doing. Maybe I should get a buddy to come in to make me feel better about it. Maybe he's got some experience and I can fall back on him. Well, what you realize after a month is I didn't really need my buddy to make me feel better about this.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
Yep.
So then you're like, oh, why is Bob here now?
Yeah.
I surely should have done this without Bob. You see that in business all the time too, is somebody brings in a partner because they're afraid they don't have whatever it takes to get that first, step accomplished.
Yep.
Well, then they get past that first step and they're looking at their partner going, oh, dang,
Yeah, I should have just pulled the trigger myself. Yeah.
All I got to do is get out of my comfort zone and take that step.
Yep.
And sometimes it's financial, but like you said, don't buy with a partner if there's any way to not buy with a partner.
Yeah, there's other avenues, hopefully, but if not, you are still getting to your end goal of owning property, and it's a good stepping stone, but you want to make sure that there's a short-term goal in mind, and if you can play the market, make some money, and then you can both kind of advance on and still have hunt and camp and still enjoy each other's company, but establish your own goals and rules on your own property then.
Yeah, that's good advice. Well, I appreciate it. So yeah, that's, we're keeping knocking these videos out. We're going to keep doing it, and hopefully it's stuff that you guys are interested in following along with us. And really, when it comes to that, you might as well leave comments about what you really want us to cover, in this process of, buying, selling, fixing up, owning land. We don't talk hardly at all about tillable land. We really focus in on the recreational land, but you guys do a lot of tillable stuff too. You know,
Yeah.
it's like a big part of High Point's success is tillable land.
Yeah.
But I don't know anything about it, so don't ask me about tillable land.
Yeah, and I think at some point we'll go from more broad topics into deep dives into more
Yeah.
specific deals too. So anytime we can get more advice on what direction to take it, it's a new deal here. So we're just kind of learning as we're going, and we want to grow off that and give you guys the best education we can.
Excellent. Yeah, keep checking back, and like you always say, Lucas.
Yeah, make sure you like and subscribe and keep following along, and we'll keep pumping out the content.